Hello, squatters. Welcome back to another episode of the Squatter Camp podcast. Thank you very much to the people who watch my content, people who continue to engage, people who do comment. And I do read the comments, and I'm so grateful. I appreciate that. I'll try my best to respond to some of the comments. And it's so interesting because now there's some kind of engagement, we have also witnessed chaos in the MKP. Konto Wesizwe party is chaotic as much as the leadership of Jacob Zuma. Well, sorry to the MKP members, but I will actually speak the truth about this. The only best possible way to actually assess these political parties is to check how they run their organizations. How they run their organizations is how they are going to run the administration. For example, the MKP, there's too many chaos there. Number one, Mzwanele Manyi has been removed as the chief whip of the MKP. And sorry, there's a lady who came in Colin to take over from him, and there's no actual reason. And I'm having a suspicion that also Jacob Zuma is behind this chaos, because we have seen how he actually used to lead the country. And it is so sad when the same political parties which are supposed to lead the people, they themselves have got chaos within the political party. If you go to Mpumalanga there, Mary Phadi, I don't know whether I should say, because yes, the court said she must be reinstated. Legally, yes, she is the Mpumalanga convener. I feel sorry for Mayor Busisiwe Mkhwebane. I feel sorry because she should have sticked to her career as an advocate and leave this thing of politics. Politics is not for the faint-hearted. And it is so sad when you see chaos, when you see people losing their careers. Technically, Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane has lost her career. The same as John Hlophe. Dr. Hlophe also did the same. He was a Western Cape judge, and all of a sudden, because he actually interfered into the political space and got himself to mingle with the politicians. And people should learn to stay away from politicians, especially when you have a career, when you went to school and academically you have something to stick to. Why do you enter into a political space without understanding the repercussion, the actual consequences? People who are going to survive in politics are Julius Malemas, because they've got nothing to lose. In fact, for Julius Malema, it benefits him to be a politician, because what else would he do? There's nothing other than being a politician that he can actually do. He doesn't have any other separate or different expertise in any kind of a field. So the only thing, he also has said that himself, that the only thing that I know is politics, nothing else. Now, Mary Phadi is pushing for Floyd to be actually pushed out, and she has actually made it public that Floyd must leave. And it is so sad because the rumors had it that Floyd hasn't been paid for 2 months in the MKP. So it shows that politics to these people, it's all about more like having a job, being employed. The likes of Mzwanele Manyi, he was an MP at the EFF. He saw that, let me join this gravy train because this one seems to be moving very slowly. The same as Floyd, the same as Advocate Dalimpofu. They did exactly the same, that they looked at the MKP, they looked at the performance. The EFF has dropped just slightly on the last performance of the general elections, and the MKP emerged. Here's another problem before we go to this video of Mary Phadi that I have. I've got a problem with how black people vote. Here's my concern. The MKP was just only probably 6 months when we went for the elections. In in 2024, right? And then my problem is that it didn't have any kind of constituency to show the people that you need to vote for us and this is what we can do for you. So people went on to vote for the MKP without knowing what actually do they represent. That is the risk part of being politically illiterate, because if you don't know who actually this person represents, but you still continue to vote for this political party, and then later on they recruit Floyd to actually cook the MKP for them, to draft policies, disciplinary procedures and all of that. And he actually did that. I think Floyd has actually reached his expiry date within the MKP, and the treatment that continues even behind closed doors is so concerning. If I was Floyd, I was going to leave. But here comes the question that if Floyd leaves the MKP, where exactly are you going, Floyd? Because you left the EFF. If I was Floyd, personally, I wouldn't have jumped to the MKP, because I cannot start a political party with my friend and you spend 10 years going up and down and reconstructing. You know, in South Africa, it's very expensive to run a political party. Quite frankly and honestly, it's very expensive. It's a very, 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 you know, if you're a billionaire and you want to be broke very quick, open a political party. Political party is a business that has got 90% chances of collapsing. 90%. You stand very good chances of collapsing. Let me tell you why. You need to do rallies. You need to go to the IEC, register a political party. You need to have something like more than 500,000 just to register a political party. So you don't want to go there. So it's not gonna help you if you're a billionaire to start it, because it's very expensive. So for Floyd to start the EFF with Julius Malema, it was fine. It was super. Even though they were really becoming kind of, outdated. The EFF was just slowly becoming, a political party that seemed to protect the illegal immigrants and doesn't want to touch on that topic, which was then, just before the election, the bone of contention, that everybody was asking that as much as we have illegal immigrants flocking into our country, we've got porous borders, and Julius Malema didn't want to say anything about it. I think that's one other thing, because if you can remember, people said, let the illegal immigrants vote for you. We're not going to vote for you because South Africans are very concerned about their jobs, the future of their kids and all of that. So they didn't really vote for the EFF. And one of the reasons is that. Now, here's Mary Phadi, a very problematic MKP member who's actually giving the MKP in Mpumalanga very hard time. Busisiwe Mkhwebane, she was actually denied to go to the VIP in one of the events. She was singing from the crowd. So you literally become nothing. This is politics. It's not for the faint-hearted. No one is going to nurse your feelings. So Mary Phadi is back. Mary Phadi arranged a parallel gathering when Busisiwe Mkhwebane and Busisiwe Mkhwebane had to back the supporters of the MKP in the name of Jacob Zuma. Say, if you don't come to a rally, you are disappointing Ubaba, and Ubaba wants you to come. She's not a politician. Let's just be honest. She's not a politician. She can't handle that. It's very heavy for her to handle. Now, here's Mary Phadi coming out. I don't know about the policies, disciplinary code or code of ethics for the MKP, but all that I know is that if a member comes out publicly saying this, there's really gonna have to be some kind of repercussions, disciplinary action taken, or you are taken to disciplinary hearing whatsoever. But let me promise you, nothing will happen to Mary Phadi. You know why? It's because she has got some forces that are backing her to do what she's doing. One of the forces which is very much influential, we're talking about Duduzile Zuma. Now let's watch this video and tell me, a disciplined member talking like this, is it how they do things in the MKP? Why can't she address it privately with the relevant people? I don't know. Just for you to watch and tell me what you think.
Amandla. Comrades, I just want to give you an update about the current status quo of the province, Mpumalanga province. On the 28th of May 2025, we are going to be holding a media briefing led by Comrade Coordinator Dan Nhlapo. And then from there, we are going to clarify issues that has been ongoing. Number one, there is this few handful members that are claiming that Mpumalanga is saying Floyd, hands off Floyd. We want to put it very clear that Floyd must go. We don't care where he's going to, whether he's going back to the EFF, whether he's going home. It's none of our business. So we are just saying the Floyd must go. And I don't know how they've dragged me into that information or task team that they are doing with the VNs to think that if they are campaigning using my name, they will get it right. They are not going to get it right.
Wait. Hang on. She just blatantly said it publicly that Floyd must go. Now you ask yourself, where is Mary Phadi getting the mandate to say whatever that she's saying? It's chaotic in the MKP. It's chaotic and people are just there for positions. That is why at some point Duduzile Zuma complained that people are being parachuted into senior positions, and yet she was technically right. Let me tell you something. You know why? It is because when they formulated the MKP, the people like Floyd and other people, the Mzwanele Manyis, were not there. So I would also complain, fairly enough, I would also complain, but at the same time, we didn't know the purpose of Ubaba, Jacob Zuma, for them to parachute these people, because these people were the big bosses in the MKP. Now they were parachuted into the MKP to cause chaos. And by the way, for Mary Phadi to speak like this, we should not take it for granted, because why? She might actually be getting the mandate from Jacob Zuma himself. Duduzile, I'm definitely sure Duduzile, we all know, she doesn't want anything to do with Floyd. And this woman, Mary Phadi, might be also colluding with the KZN base, which is led by Duduzile Zuma. Let's watch further.
Of Umkhonto on the ground, but Floyd must go, and Floyd must go because he has created this whole chaos that we are in now, to the extent that he's the person that has been having benefits of talking about Mary Phadi dead, Mary Phadi dead, Mary Phadi dead, Mary Phadi dead, and I'm talking about him namhlanje ukuthi baba siyabonga hamba uyala uyakhona. And there's this thing that is a list that has been compiled. General Taff is removed at the legislature. We want to remind the Mpumalanga province that General Taff is not going anywhere. And those that are preparing that list behind those doors, they are not going to submit that list nowhere. General Taff is going to be at the legislature.
Look at the posture. I mean, you can see the confidence in this woman, and you can see that she's actually having people who are backing her up, and people who are from senior positions, people who are actually running the MKP. Politics can be very dirty. Now you ask yourself, if she is there issuing such remarks, where is Busisiwe Mkhwebane and what is her position? That is why I said in the beginning, you know, people have lost careers through politics. If you want to enter into a political space, you need to be really sure about your story, because you're going to lose your career and chase politics, which is going to leave you very tired. I mean, if you are not naturally a politician, you are not, just leave politics and do other things. Focus on your career. She went to school. Busisiwe Mkhwebane should be, you know, she actually lost a lot of money, because remember, when she was a public protector, for that particular 5 years that she was in that position, she never really enjoyed the position. She never really, she never got a grip. She never settled in the office. Right from the beginning, she was actually politically, mingled with Jacob Zuma's. And look at this very closely. Anyone who associate themselves with Jacob Zuma, they lose their careers, they lose money, they lose everything. That man is very dangerous. He cannot be trusted. He cannot be politically trusted. A lot of people who have been following Jacob Zuma, they have actually lost careers. You can talk about anyone, the Brian Molefes, the Matela Kokos, and all those people who were staunch supporters of Jacob Zuma actually have lost careers, and they are highly, highly educated. The reason why the Brian Molefes and the other people who are in the MKP are there, they are still hoping that Jacob Zuma is their messiah. Jacob Zuma will save them. And all the people who appeared in the state capture, the Zondo Commission, are actually, they are tainted in some way, and they cannot move on with their lives, with their careers. Cases are chasing them, and they had to come and account and all of that. So this is what happens when you politicize your career, when you cannot separate between the two. I know that there's principled people who refuse to bow down to Jacob Zuma, and he actually got rid of them. But they say, well, good for them. They thank themselves now because they have not lost their careers. The Busisiwe Mkhwebane, I don't know, she will never last in politics. Now we talk about Floyd. Floyd is having a tough time in the MKP. He was never welcome in the first place, and he will never be welcome. So as much as, because MKP is a family society kind of arrangement that you cannot mess up with people like Duduzile Zuma. And, she has said all of those things on Twitter, swearing at Floyd and all of that. And the rumors that Floyd might not have been paid for 2 months. I don't know how true is that. It's alleged. But you can imagine that now he is actually suffering. And in the EFF, he was having a good time. He was a co-owner of the EFF. Now Julius Malema is left alone, and Julius Malema has also made a 360 turn that Floyd, you will never come back here. Why? Because he took it personal, and what actually Floyd did to Julius Malema didn't really sit well with him. He tried. In politics, you really need to be strong. You really need to show that posture that, no, I'm not affected. No, I'm fine. No, he remains my friend. And Floyd continued to say the opposite about Julius Malema, calling him that a gangster, whatever. No, he's not my friend, and all of that. He was very rude to his friend Julius Malema. So now, when the MKP now is chasing him, now when it gets hotter in the kitchen and he can't stand the heat, where is he going to go? Because I feel more like Jacob Zuma has actually exhausted Floyd. And now the MKP has got policies, the MKP has got constituency and everything. Now it's well built, the structures and everything. You have reached your expiry date. Now you need to leave. And when he leaves, where exactly is he going to go? Because it's a political society. He committed political suicide. He can't go anywhere. Probably the same as Mzwanele Manyi. When Julius Malema fired him, he lost his career. He can't come back to politics. He should really thank Given Mkari of Power FM, the chairman, who actually gave him a job. So because there was no one who was actually eventually going to employ Mzwanele Manyi. Another thing that I want to highlight is that Mzwanele Manyi, as much as he's educated and he's good, he's still stuck in the ideology of the EFF, and that is what is going to cost him. He needs to shift a little bit ideologically from the EFF radical policies, because that is one factor that is constantly going to close doors for him. If I was him, I was going to shift my ideology and now actually resuscitate myself and regroup, becoming a complete different person. And he should also be able to criticize Julius Malema when he's wrong, because you are no longer there and you can see mistakes. And when he like singing or chanting of the kill the Boer, how do you feel about it? He should be able to tell that, Julius, but here, I think Mbuyiseni Ndlozi is constantly hoping that one day he will go back to the EFF and become a member and sing Asitata Api, Isibinde Singaga Mapunu, Akutati Africa. The songs that, you know, the People's Bay, he's just actually fantasizing with the myth, not a fact actually, but the myth that he might go back, he might become a People's Bay again and sing and, you know, be glorified and all of that. Time is up, we said it was, you can't. So now the bone of contention in this whole issue of MKP is that they want Floyd out as in yesterday. They have dealt with Mzwanele Manyi. Mzwanele Manyi was also parachuted. Remember, he's from the EFF. So now the next big elephant in the room is Floyd. If they can get rid of Floyd, they're going to dance as much as they want. Another one is Busisiwe Mkhwebane. Those three people are from the economic freedom fighters. They were the MPs there. Why did you people leave? Because there you were treated like kings and queens, and now you are treated like second class, like step kids in the MKP. I don't know, squatters, your take on this issue, but I feel more like it's chaotic in the MKP. We'll see you next time, sharp squatters.